Hello, this is Kingy here. Welcome to a Raid Shadow Legends video. I am showcasing Riho Bonespear today. I'm currently in a Doom Tower hard fight, floor 81, with a very average team, very free to play, except of course for the beautiful Riho Bonespear. And the reason why I thought I'd showcase it now, I thought now is the perfect time, because we just had a guaranteed summoning chance with Void Shards. And right now, the Doom Tower rotation offers off the best set that I think is suited for her. And a set that I know people know is good, but I still think it's underrated. And if you have a close watch here with what's happening, you'll probably be able to figure out what set it is. It is in fact the Guardian set. Now this set, with Riho Bonespear, it just allows so much because of her massive heals that she brings. She can keep herself alive and the whole team, and then that extra Guardian gives her a little bit of a heal and keeps everyone protected with a 10% ally protection there, which just is amazing in all areas of the game. Now I got her running with a decent team, but very average in a team that shouldn't succeed really against a hard Doom Tower floor, especially high up in the 81s area. We've got Ursula the Mourner coming in just as a reviver because people will die. I got Mordecai there for the HP damage. I got Archmage Helmet here. He's in there just for a bit of stuns, a bit of buffs, because I run my Riho in my clan boss team, so she only needs that 70% critical rate, so I'm bringing him in just to make sure that she gets that critical rate. And we've got Deacon there, he's in a stun set, so he's just giving a little bit more CC, a little bit of terminator control, and defense down. And I think you'll be pleasantly surprised with what Riho Bonespear can put out here, because she has got those massive heals. Her A1 brings a little continuous heal to everyone, and her A2, which I think is coming up now, look at the damage it can do. It places every debuff under the sun, and then it smacks. And yeah, it can hit really high because it's got an insane multiplier. Her A2 multiplier is, I think, 5.8 based on attack, which is really solid. And yeah, we are definitely going to complete this floor, or floor 81, Doom Tower Hard. So I'll just let it finish up here and I'll show you her build. Now, she is a Shadowkin faction. To be fair, with her looks, she could also be a skinwalker, but Shadowkin she is. She's got weird hooves and horns because she's some sort of rhino or some sort. Who knows? And her in this Guardian set, right? I really can't underestimate it. Like, this floor here I thought was a good example. I'm just completing it now. And like I said, it's a team that has no real reason to beat it. We've got a little bit of CC, no heals besides Riho Bonespear, and people dying all over the place, but Riho just saves people, keeps Ursula going, and look at that, we've got a win. Took all ages, but with that team, it ought to. So let's go and have a look at Riho Bonespear's build. So first we'll go over her kit. So her A1, Absorption, attacks one enemy, places a 15% continuous heal buff on the ally with the lowest HP for one turn, also places a 7.5 continuous heal buff on all allies with 30% HP or less for one turn. It's a great little pick-me-up. It's got 4 books in for damage, which seems a bit odd for a support champion, but her A1 does smack for a 4.3 attack multiplier. So that's pretty good for an A1. Her A2 here, which is one of the best abilities you can get in the game, places a stun debuff on a target for one turn, as well as, here we go, HP burn, big version of defense down, big version of weaken, big version of decreased attack, and the big version of decreased critical rate, all for 2 turns. Then she attacks the enemy for a 5.8 attack multiplier on a 3-turn cooldown. So she's locking them out, smashing down everything they can do with critical rate, decreased attack, weaken, defense down. So they're taking damage, they're not dealing any, she's dealing damage with the HP burn and then smacking them hard. Good damage multipliers in the books, and to be fair, her books aren't too crazy for a Void legendary. And then her A3, also one of the best abilities in the game, also on a 3-turn cooldown, removes all debuffs from all allies, and places a block debuff on them for 2 turns. So cleanse and full protect for 2 turns, insane, and then she comes up with this beautiful heal. Heals all allies for 35% of their max HP, and by a further 5% for each debuff removed from them. Now that might not sound like the biggest heal, but I can assure you, especially if you watch my clan boss team, that can be a full heal. If one of your allies have 1 or 2 debuffs on them, or even none, it's still a massive heal. And then if you get the right masteries on it, it's a full heal, 100% hands down. On a 3-turn cooldown, 5 books in that one, definitely worth it, 100%. And then her passive ability here comes really handy in arena battles, and it's decent for other areas. You could use her as a stun target, but with her A3 you don't really need it for a clan boss. And it's also very decent in Doom Tower, just to make sure that she doesn't get CC'd, and she allows to be able to bring this to protect your whole team. And it is, when receiving any debuffs, instantly transfers them from this champion to the attacker on a 3-turn cooldown, but it's not something that you should be using because she has got this. So she uses her passive, and then she gets block debuff for 2 turns, and then her passive is back and ready to go. And then her aura is a massive 42% ally attack in faction crypts. Granted it's faction crypts, but 42%, that's insane. Now my mastery setup on her isn't the best. Again, this is for a clan boss build, a very specific clan boss build, because if you wanted to get her for heals in Arena or Doom Tower or any other boss battle, you'd definitely go down this area of the support tree and really try and maximize on her healing ability. And yeah, and then of course I've went down the typical clan boss offensive tree and the typical clan boss defensive tree. And instead of going for the extra damage, I did instead go for the heal because, as you can tell, I'm not running her on lifesteal, I'm in fact running her in Guardian set. So I want to make sure that she gets the biggest heal she can in clan boss, so that way she's not a stun target with a lower HP. And her stats come out pretty decent. All her stats are very high for a average. So her HP is 18,660, which is a really good base. It's not crazy like 20k or anything like that, but considering all her other stats, like her speed at 105, her defense at 1145, her attack at 1189, so it's all really easy to scale. I have some pretty decent gear on her. I've had to bump her accuracy up for Doom Tower. Her critical rate and her speed was a touchy thing. I have to have her at that speed for my clan boss run, but if I was to run her in Arena, I would definitely have her higher, and for Doom Tower, the higher the better. And if I wasn't using her in my clan boss comp, I would definitely go for a max crit rate, but I figured, hey, I can sacrifice a bit of crit rate, get a little bit more accuracy to make her a bit more of a hybrid build. So that's why I've got these stats set up here. 32 on the defense. My clan boss team, it's a, I'll just quickly show you it. It's a odd team. Where are we? And when it loads, here we go. So it deals 80 plus mil on a void affinity. I got a Sandless Survivor, Fabric and the Fat coming with the buffs, hence I can run her on a lower critical rate. I got Lydia, my buff extender, so I go on a 2-to-1 ratio. My Brago with the defense up and the damage. And then so she's just there for a cleanse, her heals, and some debuffs. Granted, I have got Lydia in there, so don't really need the debuffs, but that decreased critical rate comes in real handy because pretty much all the bosses in the game only have a 15% critical rate, so she mitigates any of that chance. Now, the sets I'm running on her, of course, is the beautiful Guardian set, which I'm trying to showcase today alongside Riho Bonespear, and of course I'm running a Perception set. Perception set is just so awesome. And I've just went with a main stat critical rate, and then I've just tried to get some speed and a little bit of defense in there. On her chest, I went with attack percentage, so that way I can get some more damage out of her, with a little bit of critical damage and a good chunk of accuracy. And a little bit of HP. I could probably do up that HP with a decent glyph here. Happy days, 5. And then speed on the boots, which is a pretty much go-to for any champion like this. Any support champion, you just want them going as quick as you can, but of course I have to have a speed tuned. On the shield we just got speed and a bit of support, and on the helm same thing, speed and a little bit of support. And then the attack banner, just speed and a little bit of support. So that's all that. The attack weapon, sorry, and the attack banner. I went main stat accuracy. I couldn't get any speed, so I was lucky to grab this piece. But if you wanted to get some speed, you could easily get another 20 speed on the banner, or you could glyph out these here, and you can get some nice speed. Now, so you've seen her doing carrying a very basic team in Doom Tower. So what is she like in somewhere like the arena? Let's have a look then. So what sort of team could you use her in arena? Well, firstly, she's amazing for any sort of defense team, any sort of hegemon team. She's also really good for because of that Guardian set. So if I switch out this bomb team here and go for a bomb safe team, using a Lord Shazar for my damage, a Lady Kimmy for her buffs, a Muley Tankard for her passive, and she's also on immunity gear because Riho is slower than her. If I had Riho faster than Muley, I would definitely go for more accuracy rather than immunity on her. But because I'm running her a bit slow, I have to run the immunity on her. Just take it off the photo and give it a run. So their hegemon will go, and Muley Tankard's passive will give me a little bit of a speed boost. And because of the Guardian set, no one should die. Probably would have came close with Lord Shazar there dying if I didn't have that Guardian set on there. So I get a little decreased turn meter on her. I get some provokes there for crowd control, and then he has got a decreased attack, which is no good considering he's a bomb champion. So we'll come in with the heals and the cleanse, and the heal will pretty much put everyone up to full. Maybe not Lord Shazar. Yeah, not quite, but still very good. And then Lord Shazar will come in. He'll go with his buffs and their bombs, and then that's one. Just let them run through their rotations, have their turns, and it's game over. Now if Riho gets another turn here, I'll just show you her 8-2 and how hard it can really smack. So she places every debuff there is and then smacks 44.6k for a basic support champion. That's awesome. And she's not crazy build out for damage either. She's at 160, I think, critical damage it was. Can't quite remember. Now, I'm not sure if I'll be able to beat that team. That's a pretty stacked team. But let's give it a go. Yeah. And they got a Torment here. So instead of running against a Hegemon, I'm running against a Torment. This can get a little tricky because her passive is on a 3-turn cooldown. But it might still work out. Because if anyone attacks Muley Tankard before Riho gets her turn, then she might have to remove the freeze twice. And that's why you'll want her to run her faster than Muley Tankard. But anyway, here she comes in with her cleanse and block debuffs, so that way I don't have to worry about Torment. I can place all that up. I can get my Lord Shazar to do his thing. All round bombs, that's good days. Now, I wouldn't use her A2 unless I absolutely had to, because it's good just to speed runs up, so when Torment dies and revives himself and gets a revive, but simply because that old mate over here can hit like a truck, let's just take him out with a beautiful smack from Riho. Absolutely hits hard with that. And like I said, she's not in any sort of special build for arena. Her build is purely just for my clan boss team with a little bit of hybrid for Doom Tower, but I still do use her here in arena, as you can see, for when I verse Torments or when I verse Hegemons. And look at that, her passive just cleansed that freeze off her, and then she was able to cleanse everyone and block debuff and everyone. So this way my team can just go to town. And then here she goes with the kill again. Look at that, nice little victory. And what did she pull out? She pulled out nearly 60k damage on a very tanky team. Lord Shazar smashing them with 273. I think people underrate bombs as well, but yeah. Riho is a real carry, especially against those Hegemon teams with that Guardian set. Now, against the standard dungeons and all of this sort of stuff, so Spider, she's not the greatest in, unless you're progressing. So if you're clearing higher stages fast, you're not going to use her unless you're doing like a stage 20 with some sort of nukes. But again, I don't think I've got my Riho fast enough, but we'll give it a run, see how well it works. So if we chuck in this guy, this gal, put in, where is he? Septimus, Riho Bonespear. Oh, we're missing one more. Max HP, here we go. So this is stage 20, just for like a speed run style. I won't run in an auto because no one would do their thing because I don't have this team set up. Is she faster than everyone? She is. Nice. So she'll come in here, place all the debuffs you need, weaken, defense down, that's all that's going to matter with a team like this. And then the team is going to come here and just clean up the boss. On an auto run, with the team set up, this would be a real fast, real quick run. It'll be probably maybe a 15-second run, but yeah. So she's useful against Spider, but when you get into the later stages, after 20, she's less useful because you're looking for more AoE HP burn. But that single target HP burn comes in handy in case you don't quite have the nukers to drop her, and then the HP burn might just be just enough to do it. Minotaur's Labyrinth, you probably wouldn't run her in because you just want a fast, quick team. But again, she does bring all those debuffs, so if you're struggling or need progression and you're lucky enough to pull her, you can put her in any boss fight. The one that she's probably least useful in would probably be the Fire Knight's Castle, because she doesn't have any multi-hit abilities, but if you're struggling to stay alive, she will do that for you. And because of her block debuffs being a less common sort of buff, she can be used in a Seer team alongside some other champions, and then she can help Seer clear the waves, and then when she gets to the boss fight, she can smash them down with her A2. Can't get off more about how amazing that A2 is. Oh, look at that. We've got a Shadowkin Crypt as well. What a perfect timing. So what team do I run here? When it loads, okay. Oh, Ninja, that's a bit mean, isn't it? Not many people have him at the moment. So in a Shadowkin team like this here, she is a very big carry. Again, she'll just help keep everyone alive to get through the waves. When you get to the boss, her A2, and then the waves, the Guardian set, heals. I'm just saying the same thing over and over in here again, but I think you get the point of how amazing she really is. So any boss fight, put her in, and she can debuff the hell out of them. Any trouble where you're surviving with survivability, then she's going to heal and protect and block debuffs, as you can see. So she's going to go awesome there. She's going to, her A1 with that continuous heal is also, I think, a little bit underrated. It does actually bring out a lot of heals there. And with that Guardian set, I think it's the single best set for her. In fact, I think those two sets are a perfect pairing, as in a Guardian set and a Riho Bonespear. You can't put her in a better set. I see a lot of people just run her in speed sets, perception sets, but if you have her in a Guardian set, she's just going to bring so much more, because your team would not die, and she would just keep on going. Her heals are insane, and yeah, so hope you enjoy this little short video, or maybe not so short, coming up on nearly on 20 minutes. But just to give you an idea, if you got Riho Bonespear, put her in a Guardian set, you will be pleasantly surprised. Trust me. I used to run Riho Bonespear solely in Clan Boss because she didn't really quite do enough for me in those other areas, where I'll just put in like a Doom Priest for a cleanser because at least he has an attack up buff. But then when I started really realizing how good she can be, I started to put her in a Guardian set and get some other abilities up, some stats linked up, like the 300 accuracy for the Doom Tower, and then all of a sudden I use her everywhere I can. Like, I don't even try to find a place for her, she just happens to be the best option for that area. I would say she is the best champion on my account. Granted, Lydia is amazing, but I just don't find as much utility with any other champion other than Riho. Iron Braga is very solid, one of my favourite champions in the game. And like, look at this here, for example. So he should have died just then, but thanks to that Guardian set on her, he didn't, and then she's come along and she put in 2 continuous heals. He did die there, what a shame. Didn't quite get his turn off to heal up, but yeah, I think you get the point that she just smacks. She smashes that boss down, even without Ninja, we're still smashing him, coming up not too far. All those debuffs stops the boss from hitting, makes any hit we do to smash, and yeah, her hits herself are insane. Strips that fear off herself, so then she can come in and make sure that she doesn't get crowd controlled, and look at that, we're done. So she came in with 286k damage, which is the second best. Obviously, Genbo or Genbo, however you like to say it, came in with a whopping 1 million. She came in with an insane amount of heals and everything. So, put Rare in your Guardian set, you'll be happy, and you'll be able to use her literally everywhere. From Doom Tower to Arena to Clan Boss, even standard dungeons. Definitely would not use her for a campaign farmer. That is one thing I'll say that she is not good at. But if you need a campaign carry, if you're lucky enough to follow that early in the game, she will take you all the way through. Hope you enjoyed the video and put her on a Guardian set. Thank you, this is Kingy on a Raid Shadow Legends video.